All these are kicking in. Restream is hitting it. What about Twitch? Ooh. Not yet. Are we on? Are we on? Ooh. Oh my. I forgot to log in on the Restream chat. Alright, let's see. Okay, we're in on YouTube, the Restream chat. Okay. Are we in on Twitch? We're not in on Twitch. Why are we not in on Twitch? Excuse me. Alright, I think we're in on Twitch as well. Let's test the chat. YouTube chat is not working. How do I get YouTube chat to work? 1 second. Trying to get YouTube chat to work. And nope. Connection error state. Why? That's not very useful. And I think that's gone through. So that went through. All right, I think the chat is working now. Hey, Gia. Of course it does, but we're in the final race to finishing the release. So we got to finish the release, and then that's the next thing that we'll do. So today I want to finish off the emojis and do some tidying up and generally do some testing. So with the emoji stuff, actually, let me see if I can. I don't know if I can stream my Mac for testing. Let's see. Let's see. This might be risky. I should have prepared this. Also, my Mac just went through an update. So I don't know if everything there is up and running yet. I haven't used it in quite a while. Gonna need it soon for the updating the app. Where art thou? Safari. I think this Safari. There's Chrome. Ooh, where's Safari? I don't see it. Where'd Safari go? What the frick? 1 second. I should have done this before starting up. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, not screensaver. Okay. And I'm just gonna test this quickly. All right, so that's my Mac. So we should be able to, for example, put this in here and see how emojis and such work. My God, it's slow. I need to figure something out. There's something going on. But anyway, I can't do this on stream, but I need to do some performance testing. Look at that. Sometimes it takes me 20 seconds to load from the new service. So on Safari. Okay, so that's the new emoji font. So that doesn't seem to work. Ooh. Okay. So, okay, it does work. It just didn't load it yet. Okay, so that's the black and white one. That's weird. That's supposed to be semi-transparent, but it looks kind of strange. And that's supposed to be semi-transparent color. And that's supposed to be just color. Okay, so these are all weird and wrong. But again, this is maybe not something I can do on the stream. But maybe we'll look into this a little bit. Well, it's not for me, it's for other people who use Macs. So you can't tell everybody just chuck their Macs in the trash. No, I have to. I absolutely have to. Unfortunately, it's not super simple because not only is there almost a year of development now, I have to absolutely update and fix the data saving stuff, which is a feature I worked on before the last release for like a month or two. But obviously now a lot has changed, so I'm going to have to update all of that. Cordova is barely supported, so I don't even know if all of that stuff is going to work properly. Anyway, so let's have a quick look. One thing I wanted to do is I had my scan puzzles code here, and I was outputting the characters sorted by occurrence. But what I actually want to do now is I want to actually, because now I actually have a exclusion list that I'm using. And to be honest, it shouldn't be sitting in the main script file. I think I should be able to bring the emoji, the color emoji, in as an external sort of plugin type thing. Maybe we'll do that first, because I don't think I've committed that code yet. Yeah, let's do that first. So instead of having this code living here, we probably want to have a feature file similar to the Fog of War feature. Right, so we'll make a file, we'll save it as feature emoji. We're in staging, we're in the right place. And then it's gonna look a little bit like this. It's gonna have a setting at the end. Feature emoji. Feature emoji. Feature emoji. Feature emoji. And actually, let's put that here quickly. Let's just put the boilerplate together. Oop. Oop. There we go. So we have add and remove feature. And then we'll have a bunch of stuff. Okay, so. And where is our script file? Script file. Did I not just have a script file open already? Where did that go? Could have sworn we had a script file open. All right. So. Now the emoji stuff is under puzzle. And it's down here somewhere. Load emoji font. My nose. Excuse me. So we have load emoji font, and I think that's it. So the settings, we can actually include them here, and we can use the same mechanism for bringing in this stuff as we're using up here. So for example, so feature enabled. I don't think we actually have a feature enabled or disabled thing here. Right? There's no reason to disable this. So it's kind of gonna be this. Feature emoji. Like this. And then we're going to have our settings here. And that's gonna be focus of animation started. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. Yeah, Unicode characters. Basically, some device, I still don't know exactly what, but some people, they generally don't see certain Unicode characters, so people set puzzles using them. So I'm just going to include, not specifically a font, I'm actually using the Google Font API. I can actually, it generates on-the-fly fonts with a specific set of characters. So for example, that puzzle from a few days ago with the candles, it literally generates a font with just that one symbol in it. So that's actually really nice. So let me see if I have that. I can show you quickly. Or like take this puzzle, for example, right? So if we look at, this is basically the file it generates, right? And it generates two fonts, and you see they're only 1.7 and 3.9 kilobytes. So if I download this one, I think open a new tab, we'll just download it. Open a new tab, right? So this downloads these WAV files, and I think I should be able to open them with some sort of font browser. Ooh, no. FontForge. Hopefully they can open WAV files. A font. One sec. FO font. So these are the ones I just downloaded. Yeah, so you see it doesn't actually have a lot of characters in it. In fact, it should only have those. Okay, this is a very bad font browser. Let me see if there's something else. Font viewer. There must be some tool I can use to view a font. I might have to install this thing. Font viewer. Let me check some portable apps. Fonts. Font viewer. AMP. I should really not be doing these things on stream, should I? Alright. Let's hope this is not some garbage. AMP, font viewer, powerful font manager. Yada yada yada. Development test 2. Probably good enough. Alright. I'm just gonna install this in my usual place, which is in my Dropbox. Nice and convenient. Ooh. Let's hope this is not some sort of garbage. I think we have this installed already. I thought... No. Oh, okay, here we go. Now the question is, can I just drag this font onto there? Nope. Okay. It doesn't do exactly what I was hoping for, which is let me view a specific font. Maybe this? No. Okay, I think this is just looking at already installed fonts. So that's not very useful. I need to go to my Dropbox. Ugh, I'm gonna go the slow way around. Sorry about this. Yeah, no, to be honest, I just want to take a quick look myself because it's actually kind of interesting. There is a SVG font format as well, which I'm super interested in because I've used it in the past to literally generate SVG curves from characters by basically turning the font into a SVG file and then extracting the glyph data and turning it into a path. It's a bit silly because I don't think you can directly render the glyph that is used in an SVG font in an SVG file, but at least the format of that, the path definition is basically the same. So it's kind of a neat trick if you let's say have a piece of text and you want to end that in an SVG file without... Is that the same? No, it's a different one. All right. We want to go to downloads. Oh my god, this does not support WOFF fonts. That is super not useful. All right, never mind. the point is, these two fonts, even though this preview shows a whole bunch of other things, you can see from the sizes, so 3.9 kilobytes and 1.7 kilobytes. Now, it's relatively big for just containing one character, but remember, these are actually, and it could be that they contain the basic character sets as well. I don't know that for sure, to be honest. That's why I want to open in a font viewer. Oh, you know what we can do is, WAF to TTF converter. We can just do that quickly. I think that should do the trick. And then I think the Windows system can... so that's the one. So one of them is for the color emoji font, and the other one is for the black and white one. If I grab these... And now these I should be able to open in Windows without... So it does look like it has basic character sets. Huh. And if I open... and now I should be able to open it with the other thing, the font viewer that we just installed. All right, one last try. Hey, Chameleon, how are you doing? So, because I was wondering why it was so, relatively speaking, big. Like 1.7 kilobytes seems like a lot for one small emote. Now, that is actually 3, and they might be more complex than I suspect. Alright, so if I go here now and open this. So, does that... Like, I don't know if this rendering here means these characters are actually part of that font. Or does that mean... does that mean... Installed fonts? I don't want to see installed fonts. This is not useful to me. Or does it mean... wait. Let's grab those characters, right? So we have these characters. I think they're not in the console right now. I'm just going to do that. We're just going to grab them out of the overlay layer. They're in here somewhere. There we go. Let's grab the flame. So if I put this here... Yeah. So that's the black and white one. And then if I look at this one... No, that is the color emoji. So it doesn't render it in color. That's interesting. Not what I expected. And the other font viewer... Where was that? I think we didn't install it at all, right? Wait, no. Font Forge. This thing. I don't know what it is, to be honest. Probably installed it ages ago. Yeah, I was part of the web, the old web, back in the day. And it used to be much worse, to be fair. But fonts on the web was always a bit of a pain in the butt. All right, so can I just all fonts? So it looks like it does it understand WAV files? All right. So the problem is here it shows you all the glyphs. Oh man, I wish it would let me just view only glyphs that actually exist. And maybe there might be a way with this thing. I don't know anything about this. About this font. Glyphs, added encoding slots, force encoding, compact. Here we go. All right. Don't know what this is. All right. So that's the WAV2 file. And the WAV2 file here, the font2 file is the 2. So that's a smaller one, right? Now if I open... It doesn't remember the... Oh, God damn it. All right. And then the other one is... Well... Go there. WAF. Nope. All right. All fonts. So this was font 2, no to emoji, and then font 1. By the way, the TTF, are they smaller? No, they're much bigger. Interesting. Okay, and then what did I just click on? I forgot. What did I just click on? Compact. Here we go. Boom. Ooh, interesting. Oh, okay. So that's why the color one is so big. So every individual aspect of the... So if you look at these characters, right? Every color has a different shape. And they're actually stored as sort of like character fragments. And then they're combined with a special system. So I'm guessing it has a black and white version for... Because I know there's some systems that don't support color fonts, right? But that's basically how they do it. Interesting. And then these spheres, I guess, are part of the UFO, or these dots or something. Interesting. Okay, and that's why they're so big. Well, so big. I mean, they're still tiny. They're not really much bigger than they would be if I had those as images. But the beauty of it is that it's dynamic. So whatever the puzzle includes, so there's the puzzle with the candle, not this one, this one. There, the font literally is just that one character, right? So we have this font. Yeah, 1.6 and 1.2 kilobytes, right? To include the candle. And I think it's so small that it's not going to be a big problem. And obviously, this is mostly for people who currently don't get anything at all, where they just can't play the puzzle, right? Or where they have an inconsistent emoji, like they're on an operating system where it's just rendered so differently that they can't recognize it. So what I really want to do now, besides this little sidetrack into installing font viewing software, so I made a script that scans through my samples of puzzles and extracts the characters included in the puzzles. This was something I did in the last stream. But what I want to do now is the reverse. I want to exclude the characters that I'm currently excluding. So I have a set of characters that I'm excluding, which is this set of characters. So I want to exclude... Okay, so the real set of excluded characters are these now. And then this is our characters. And then this is get puzzle character. Okay, so characters is just the JSON of the puzzle. And then get puzzle chars is this little function. So I'm going to use the same code that I'm using on the app now to get a list of characters included in a puzzle according to my thing here. And then that list, I'm going to reverse index it and basically list for each one of these characters, which there shouldn't be that many, hopefully all the puzzles that are in that puzzle, in that character. And we'll start with the CTC ones because there's only 4,000 of them. Ah, wait. No, these, okay, these functions do the first thing. So we need to do this higher up. So I'm gonna put this code here for a second. But in reality, currently, because it was calculating the number of times a character was used, but it was doing it across the entire data, not the number of puzzles that are using a specific character, which kind of, you know, that's why quotation marks were so many and whatnot. So this loads the puzzle. Add string to character map. 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 So let's make sure we're not outputting the HTML first, because I don't actually want to overwrite that. Exclude chars. I don't think this is used right anymore. Okay. So this actually we're going to move to the top. And then wherever we're pulling characters out of a puzzle, add string to character map. Puzzle, puzzle ID, decompress puzzle, puzzle ID. Okay. So we're going to do just clean up the code just a little. And then we're going to run each puzzle through this little process here. So CTC puzzles, we'll do let char stringify puzzle. And in this case, these are already strings. I'm gonna do that. And then process char map does what exactly? Process char character map. It takes. Hey, Tristan. All right, I'll do. Thanks for the offer. I mean, to be honest, like everything needs to go through a round of testing for a few days before release, and it has to come back as A-OK. So right now I have enough things that I know are wrong that I'm not in that final stage just yet. There's no point asking people to test stuff when I know there's lots of problems, and they're just going to see those problems, right? It's hard to tell people to ignore a problem and look for other problems. Sorry, I'm a bit. I had an event and I ate too much pizza, and I had coffee, but it didn't do anything to wake up my brain. So character entries. We have the character map. Wait a second. 1 second. Get puzzle chars. This is not what I'm looking at. This is not process character map. Get puzzle characters. Get puzzle characters. So get puzzle characters. So get puzzle characters takes a puzzle. Puzzle string. JSON stringify puzzle string. Well, that's dumb. I'm doubly stringifying it. Well, that's completely unnecessary. And then it basically filters the characters and then returns. So it returns an array of characters that aren't in the filtered list, which excludes, some basic accented characters and Greek characters, which should be present in normal fonts. We might remove them in the future. They're probably not often enough that, having them included externally is a big deal. The thing is, the emoji fonts might not actually have good versions of those because they're not emojis, right? So we have get puzzle characters. Filter characters are up there. Here, the characters are just whatever comes out of puzzles. Now, process char map is this. And then add strings to character map. So process character map takes a character map, which at this point is empty. I don't know where this came from. Why is this here? I feel like this should not be here. I don't know. Did I almost want to undo this because I did not save this in... Or did I? I don't think I have a Git version of this. This would be under Sudoku data. Sudoku data. Which is not under Git. Great. Yeah, I need to clean all that stuff off. So I don't remember putting this here. I know that this takes the puzzle data, so this is going to change to characters now. This, I don't know if this was here before. And then I want to do the same thing down here, where now you would add characters. So this would, the problem is this does not precisely do what I want it to do either. So add string to character map. What does it do? It excludes characters which we don't need. Sort character entries. Character entries, sort character. Character map. Ah, no, that's the wrong function. This is the function. Because it does the Unicode handling stuff. For each character. Okay, so this does a counter. Yeah. Okay, add string to character map. add puzzle. Okay. The LMD puzzles we can't handle the same way unless we do it by index. Puzzles.length. I'm just thinking, if I reference the string, yeah, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to turn all the puzzles into a singular list of puzzles. Ah, my head hurts. Yeah, I'm gonna do something else. We're going to make a function load etc puzzles. And what this is going to do, it's going to return an object mapping the puzzles to puzzle IDs. Actually, do the puzzles themselves have the ID within themselves? I'm not sure. Dip, 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 dip. So the puzzles are here, API puzzle. Yes, they have the ID. So we don't, okay, so we can just have it a plain array of puzzles. So basically have to do this. Puzzle IDs.length. Load puzzle. So we can do this. This is an array. Right? And then we can map this. The problem is we need to await, so we can't. I was going to do this in a single line like an idiot. No. We're going to use good old loops, for loops. So we're just going to do this. Push await. And then return puzzles. So if I do this, load CTC puzzles. Yeah, don't need any of this now. Let puzzles await. And that should be an array of strings. Do I still have... where am I here? Don't need that. And did I expected end of inputs 188? Shoot. What did I do wrong? I don't think I screwed that one up too badly, or that one. I probably didn't close this loop. All right, takes longer than I thought it would. All right, but this seems to give us the data. The problem is this ID doesn't... I'd have to JSON parse to get the ID out, which might slow this down. Do I want to JSON parse 4,000 times this data? Probably not. So since I have them already, I guess what I can do is I can do puzzle ID like that. Right? Data or puzzle. Right? like that. And we can do this. It should be faster. Yeah. So this will give us an object with the ID and that. And then we can process each of these through this thing. I'm just wondering if I should process it first or do a function for each type of puzzle and then come back with a comparable list. Yeah, let's do a function for each type and then come back with a comparable list. And we can do maybe a limit here. Start equals 0, end equals, and it's undefined. Start is undefined. So if I do this, start, end, and then put in 0, 3, that should work, right? All right, and then we'll do the same thing for LMD puzzles, which obviously get loaded slightly differently. And by slightly, I mean completely differently. And we don't have puzzle IDs. So that comes out of a singular file, JSON file, right? And these puzzles come back as an array, I think. So if I do this and then just do load LMD puzzles, and I'll just say this over here, and I'll time it this time because I'm actually curious. And if I get the first one out like that, it comes back like this. Okay, so in this case, we don't actually care about the LMD IDs and all this. And we need to decode the data, right? So we need to do this. Okay. We're going to do this. I equals math.max 0 start. And if start is undefined, we're just going to output this here quickly. And end will be puzzles.length. The smaller of the two. And if it's undefined, does it still give me the correct thing? Start, end. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we can just do I start, I smaller than end, I plus plus. LMD puzzles, give it a different name. Right. And then we'll do, yep, it'll be an array. And then each of these, we're going to decompress the puzzle. And I'm just going to do 0 to 1. Puzzle, decompress puzzles. LMD puzzles I. And we want to check for LMD puzzles I. So we'll do this. Okay. So it comes back with this, which is JSON data, but we won't have an ID. And did we call it puzzle ID? Yeah. So we're going to do puzzles.push puzzle ID. And the puzzle ID here, should it be an index into the JSON file? It has to be, right? Otherwise, we won't find the source. So we can't filter here. We'll just have to skip that here. So if undefined, Continue. And then we use the index as our puzzle ID. And the puzzle is going to be this. And then we're just going to return puzzles. Just like above. Right? And if I do this here, it's going to take a while, right? Because it's going to do all of them. Except it's not. Okay. So here we actually need to see... start should always default to 0. That's fine. And ending. If we put -1 on a slice, do I get what I expect? So if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dot slice 0, -1. No, it goes -0. Will that do all of them? No. Infinity. I guess infinity will do the trick. All right. Not really ideal, but it'll do. And this you probably can't see, but because it's probably off the bottom of my stream. And it's probably super small. Sorry about that. I thought I was going to get through this much quicker. LMD puzzles I. Puzzle equals undefined. Can be property undefined reading puzzle. LMD puzzles I. Start is 0. End is 8344. This is already filtered here. Didn't want that. And if I do this, like that, what do we get? 8346. 8346. Start 0. Continue. Man, I hate this because if I put them all out, if I print them all out, it's 4,000 lines. And we'll never see the end of it. I'm gonna have to do error handling. Holy crap. It's making me do error handling. I just want to know where it errors out. Is it at the end of the... Oh, jeez. Can read properties of undefined. Yeah, why are we up at 11,000? Start I++. I smaller than end. Why does it keep going? So I'm guessing it goes through the 8,300. Hits I 8346. Let I equal start. I smaller than end. I++. Am I doing a for loop wrong? End is 8346. So at this point, end.
Do I have to do n -1?
No, because I can substitute the length here. And it's taking the minimum, so that's smaller than infinity, right? I smaller than end. I smaller than LMD puzzles.length. And why is this suddenly... Did I... Okay, there's a character in here that I just put in that it doesn't like the syntax highlighter. Is it the smaller than sign? LMD puzzles.length. Okay, I don't see what's wrong there. I think the syntax highlighter is confused. So, I is smaller than end is true. End is 8346. I is 8346. Does N change? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Alright. I am an idiot. I was comparing. I didn't update end. This is what we wanted. And now we can look at start and end. None of you guys told me. Sometimes I wonder what I keep you around for. Let's see. Start 0. Yeah, okay. How exciting. I figured out basic for loops. All right. Anyways. Yeah, this shouldn't happen anymore now. We can get rid of this. This is all, you know, this is not critical code. This is not going to be, this is going to be run once, mostly for my own information. Okay, we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. It doesn't even take very long, but I still wanted to be able to limit how much of it I'm going to run. So if I do this now, length should come back as 3. Okay. And the format is the same as the other one. Excuse me. Now, CTC puzzle IDs and the LMD puzzle IDs are slightly different. But we should be able to process either array now the same way. So... So, now we want to loop through these. Can I just mush them together? What if I say something like source CTC and then make it short because it's actually a huge list. Right, and then he'll do source LMD, right? Or I could even join them into an ID string, whatever, right? And then what we'll do is we'll do this. We should have 6 puzzles in there. And some of them will be CTC and some of them will be LMDs. So for example, the 4th here, excuse me, that'll be an LMD puzzle. And now we should be able to puzzles.for each puzzle or item. And now item dot, well, we want to add them to a character map, right? So put that to the top. And we're basically gonna replicate what? Well, first of all, we want to get the characters for the specific puzzle. So item dot puzzle this. That's the characters. And then when we when we were adding characters to our thingamajig, that's the tricky part. So we managed the add characters to char map. I think this is the one that we were handling the Unicode characters correctly. All right, so this goes let character of show occurs. Char map is undefined. Char map equals this, and then char map dot push. And now we're gonna add. I guess we could just add the reference directly in. You can just do this, right? And then we can just say char map object dot ease char map, something like that, right? And in those first 6 puzzles, we have 1, and we can actually just output the whole thing. It's not going to be as big as I thought because it's not going to include all the puzzles, right? So it'll be one thing here, and it'll just include a reference to the puzzle. Okay. And if I go back to here, And we'll say, okay, let's grab 50 each. Right? Let's see how many weird characters we get. So we get 5 weird characters. And then we can do for each, no, object.keys dot for each char 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 char, and then we'll have a list of references. So we'll have char map char dot map, and then for each item, we don't want to have the puzzle data here because it's just too much. So we're gonna map that to a an object, no, an array, and it'll be item dot source item dot id, something like that. And that should give us an array of, so these are all from CTC puzzles, and these are all from the same puzzle. All right, and if I do 100, 100, like this list shouldn't grow super fast. Yeah, so here we have a couple of LMDs and a couple of these guys, right? And if I don't want to output all of this, actually what I can do instead of this, just list the number of puzzles for each character, right? So if I do this, we'll know how many puzzles there are for each of these characters. All right. I'm going to do 1,000 of these. Takes a bit longer. Okay. And if I do all of them, that'll take quite a bit longer because it has to decompress 8,000 puzzles and decode 4,000 CTC puzzles, right? That's 12,000 puzzles in total. And I probably should grab the sum of these, right? And I can probably just output this as a JavaScript file. I'm just trying to think what's the easiest way of encoding that. I could link it. I could create HTML and then just link it. The other thing we want to do is we want to sort this. And I think we've done that up here with the entries. Char entries are sorted by the number. So we kind of want to do something similar. So if I take this and I sort them, and we want to sort them by the length of the puzzles, of the number of puzzles for each, right? So it's a1.length minus b1.length, right? And then I'm just trying to think, oh man, because the puzzle data is actually quite large. So we have 19 puzzles. That's like 4 kilobytes each. You know, it's huge. But if I form it as an HTML file, it's actually not that chunky. It's just we have to deal with this kind of thing, right? So if I do something like log this kind of thing, right? Hide all this, and I should all have put this in a function from the get-go. HTML, end of HTML, right? And do we have? Yeah, I don't want to use Note of Sans here. I want to use a custom font. I can do that as well, right? So, char entries, character, puzzles, right? So then we'll do char, like that. And then we'll do, this is going to be a bit awkward. We'll do puzzles.map. And then for each puzzle, we have source ID puzzle. Like that. And we're going to turn these into strings. This is going to get a little awkward because two different kinds of strings, right? Source equal C2C. Then the string will be... I'm going to do it like this. Then the string will be... Well, part of the string is going to be the same. It's going to be this. Then we're going to have this. And that's why it's going to be awkward. And now I'm making it awkward. And then we have /td. Close the template string. And then in here... Well, actually... Do we... I'm just thinking we want to label them differently. So here we're going to do a href equal yada 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 /a. Just a link, and then the link will be the link label will be something like this / and then we'll have ID. And then this will be local host 5000 sudoku /ID. All right. And then for the other version, for the fpuzzles version, this puzzle data here is now decompressed. We can just recompress it, right? Or do we want to keep the compressed version? I'm trying to remember if I decompressed them already. Yeah. But I think we can do decompress. We can recompress it. So if I look at Sudoku data, my God, it's so small. You know, I was in the process of buying new glasses, and then it turns out I don't have any money left. So maybe next month. fpuzzles decoder. And this is awkward. Decompress. Yes, compress puzzle. I could have imagined that. Decompress puzzle, compress puzzle. So we should be able to just recompress the puzzle. Here. Compress puzzle. We run a brief. Do I need on localhost? Yeah, localhost runs through fpuzzles, through Firebase. So I need the prefix. Puzzle. fpuzzles. Is it fpuzzles or is it fpuzzle? Do I have fpuzzles? Compress puzzle, not ID. And this is LMD ID. Right. And we can probably take all of this and stick it here. Up until /Sudoku. And take this and stick it here. Like that. And then these we don't need. And then we don't actually want to output that here, do we? Map. Oh, needs another brace here. That's gonna just, oh no, it's gonna, oh my God. It's gonna put all that puzzle data into the HTML in here, which is not gonna be useful. Yeah. We're gonna have to just dump that into a file. Basically like that. Char puzzle map. Char to puzzle map. Like that. That's basically it. And it's going to take another 10 seconds. And then hopefully we can just open this folder and bada bing, bada boom. Can do this. Oh, what are these comments at the top? Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Where are the commas? Because I didn't join them together. These don't look right. Something here does not look right. But it could just be that the syntax formatting can't handle, for example, this character here. Or it just can't handle the long lines. I think that might be also a problem here. Don't know where these commas are from. Table, tr, td. I am not seeing all these commas. According to this, they're all above the table. Oh, here they are. All right, we're going to rebuild it one more time because the other thing I wanted to do... So after the mapping here... here... We want to map it... Do we want to keep them in one line? No. We want to put them in separate lines. And then the other thing I want to do is include a custom font according to the algorithm now that we're using here. And I think this is the one that'll do the trick. Except we actually want to write it out. So we're gonna do here class equals char. And then here we're gonna do dot char. And well, we don't actually need this stuff. So this is gonna be link rel reconnect. Okay, that stuff is really not necessary. But, you know. href equal. Let's just throw it in there. Don't know if link needs to be self-closed. Reconnect. Cross origin. Do I need both of these? They look weird. Not sure why they're here in here as separate items. But I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. That's why I built it that way. That was working. It's working, right? And then we have another link. And this time it's rel style sheet. Style sheet. And the href this time is the font URL. And the font URL comes from this little thing. So we have the font URL prefix, which is this. And in fact, let's just do this up here. So we're gonna have a font URL prefix up here. And we're gonna load both of them actually. And then get font URL, it's this one. That just takes care of the encoding, I guess. I mean, I wrote it yesterday, so I should remember. And then the glyphs are an array. So this is gonna be get font URL, glyphs, and then your font URL prefix. And the glyphs come from char entries dot map. So char entries dot map. And it's just char. Yeah, it's just this. And that should load in the font. Don't need that. Don't need that. Right? And then we'll have .char font family. We'll probably want to do this and this, even though we just need one. Oh, actually, we can just do this. Char color. So char color gets the color emoji font. And char gets just the regular. And I think that's all we need. Body will do Noto, sure. Don't. Okay, that's just for the rest. All right. And we run it one more time. And now we should have removed the commas. And I think other than the commas, I should have checked before. Other than the commas, do these work? Yeah, these work. Okay. So then we'll have a reference to all the... Wait a second. Shouldn't there be more links? Or... Ah, here we go. Oh, I don't actually want them as separate columns, do I? Ugh. We don't actually want them as... We want them in a singular TD. So we kind of want this. And this. And we want these just the A's with... separated by commas. And some space. And the line break is just so if we're looking at the source, it doesn't break our heads. I think that's kind of what we really want. But I'm not sure if I'm going to rerun it now. To be fair. Yeah. Refresh. Okay, no endless commas at the top. One of these fonts is not correct. Font family no to emoji. That's strange. Font char color. Char-dish color font. Because these are not inside a style sheet themselves. Alright, we're gonna have to rerun it after all. Alright, well, we'll fix one more thing. Okay, now, just opening the puzzle is actually not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do is, by having this reference, I mean, besides doing some testing, I think the other thing I would want to do, maybe I want to do the reverse, actually. Maybe I want to list these puzzles and then show how many, because very few of these characters are going to be in, I mean, some of them, like the basic card symbols, and then some basic arrow stuff is in quite a few puzzles, right? But most of them will be one puzzle with a bunch of symbols in them, right? So we might want to do the reverse. We want to say, okay, for every puzzle in this list, we want to show all the symbols. There might be fewer puzzles in their symbols, except for the basic stuff like arrows and so on. A lapse of the moon on the moon. Okay, so, and to be honest, I'm probably more interested in the actual statistics, but I also want to look at stuff like this. Okay, so there's a puzzle with Japanese characters that I'm not seeing here at all. Oh, so for example, in this case, they are in the description. I don't actually know if my emoji font actually takes care of that. So maybe I need to filter these puzzles also by just including the characters that are actually on the board. Because I assumed these Chinese characters were actually referencing a puzzle with these characters showing on the board, but they're actually just in the title. Interesting. Because I remember seeing a puzzle with Chinese characters in the puzzle itself, on the board. But we can look at something like this and say, okay, how big is the actual font? It doesn't like this. 0 bytes. Why? Why? What's going on here? 1 second. Got the font here. We have the font kit call. 400. Strict origin or cross origin. 400. What? Malformed. Is the encoding not correct? Ah, here we go. So it doesn't... this is something I have worried about, actually, because the emoji fonts just might not have these characters available. Huh. It should not be retried. I think we're gonna do a manual check. We're gonna go here, right? And we're gonna specifically load up this example with this text. So emoji, color emoji, type tester. Yeah, it doesn't have those characters. Doesn't have those characters. The problem is I don't know which characters the font has in the first place. The whole point was that I wouldn't have to worry about this. If I go just to Noto Sans, let's say, and then go here and do this, it still doesn't work, huh? It has all these versions. So unless I specifically choose... Hey, Mark. What I was hoping was that the Google API enables me to just tell it which characters and it generates the font that I need. But it looks like I might have to learn a little bit about it and say, okay, because they have a lot of fonts, right? They have, you know, different language versions of different fonts, right? So, for example, if you look at Noto Sans, right, there are versions with... Like, I can choose by... One second, where was it? I can choose by language here. So if I do Asia and then, like, Chinese, for example, and I don't even know if these characters are Chinese or Japanese, you know, I'm just... Or any sub-dialect or whatever. It could be fairly complex, to be honest. Asia. That's... China is in Asia, right? Or is it subdivided into, like, do I have to look at the different... Oh, man. That's the thing, right? I don't know. Hey, Eastern Gurung, is that part of China? When we talk about languages, or is it like, maybe I need to look for, like, Singaporean or whatever, which I recently learned is an actual language. Except it's not listed here. My god, the two Cantonese and the two main Chinese languages, they're not even here either. Like, I don't know. I don't know what these languages are. I do all languages. Does this not include Chinese? Really? China. Script. Traditional Han. I don't know if these are that. Oh, okay, so there's notice. Okay, so these are... They're not... I don't know why they were not available. Okay, like, you see, I don't even know, right? I don't even know... Like, here, it recognizes 3 of the 6 characters. So I wouldn't even know which font to try to load. So the difficulty I have here now is, what do they expect me to do? Like, if they have a database of, like, if I can get a JSON file with Unicode ranges per font, then I can say, okay, here's the text. I run it through my algorithm. My algorithm says, okay, these characters are in this font, these are in this font, these are in this font. And then I can include the specific fonts with those characters, you know? Now, 99.9999% of the time, all the characters will be from one font because somebody had put in a name in their language, right? Very few people are going to mix Chinese and then flaming helicopters, right? So most of the time, that's fine because it'll just load those 3 characters from one specific font. And here on my computer right now, in Chrome, these 3 characters render, but on somebody's phone, they might not, right? And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get to, is like, can I automate this process that I can always guarantee support for these if I limit myself to, you know, arbitrary Noto, whatever, right? So for example, Noto Sans here, if I put these characters in, doesn't work, right? And that's what I was hoping. I was hoping that they had a Noto universal setup where I just throw characters at it and it comes back with, you know, custom generates a font that supports them, right? So for example, traditional Chinese doesn't include these characters. I don't know, I guess they're not, maybe it's simplified Chinese, right? So I go simplified Chinese thing, yeah. So these fit under simplified Chinese, right? Now, the question is, do I have to download all these different ones? So they have a nice download button here, right? And that zip file, like I'm sure I can parse these font files to figure out what are the UTF ranges from them. These are 8 megabytes each, right? So in theory, I could, I mean, this is a big, like it'll be a lot of work on my side, but once it's all said and done, it's actually not a lot of like effort on the algorithmic side to execute, right? From, you know, it's not like we have to download 9 megabytes of fonts with everything. No, the idea is all I need is a reference where every, or, you know, for all the Noto fonts, I just index them, all the Unicode ranges. Then I map the characters that I find in the puzzle to those Unicode ranges. And that could even be done server-side, right? I could literally have an API call that does it, right? So that table could be fairly big and I wouldn't have to download it, right? Because doing it wouldn't take a lot of effort. Even if it's a big JSON file, right? If there's a lot of Unicode ranges, a lot of fonts to worry about. And then auto-generate the Google API call that then loads those characters. And part of me wants to do that, but it would be literally just because I want to do it, not because it's actually useful in any way, right? Now, so far I can see that the fallback fonts seem to capture these on my setup here, because my computer is probably well equipped, right? And that's kind of the real problem, is that once it's all said and done, the question is, will this work on, you know, iOS or whatever? And in fact, what I'm going to do, as painful and slow as it is, I'm going to see if I can start up the simulator. And if I can... in fact, the other day I was running this here. Right? Yeah. So I should be able to take this and, you know, so for example, Safari looks like it can handle it. I don't see any missing characters. Ah, no, there are. All right, so let's look at 4493. Yeah, so for example, this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm trying to fix. But it isn't getting fixed because these characters obviously aren't present in the Noto emoji font, apparently. So let's have a quick look at these in more... Oh, in fact, there's one missing here as well. I don't even know what... One sec. What character that would be. Is it these arrows? I don't know what character this is. White vertical rectangle Unicode character. White vertical rectangle. So I'm guessing somebody used it for some kind of effect inside the puzzle. So it's probably either in the underlay or the overlay layer. You see rectangles, text, arrow. Because they could even sometimes, maybe they're using it as spacing or something, right? Yeah, you see, for example, they have non-breaking spaces, trying to get the character in the right spot. Now the question is, does that white Unicode rectangle character not show up in here? Or, you know... Wait a second, so it should show up when loading the font, right? Because it's obviously gets past the filter. I don't even know what the call to that to Google API looks like. Is it this one? No. Because this is the actual fonts getting loaded. I'm looking for the CSS call that these should generate. And that should work. Yeah, here we go. I don't know why this wasn't showing before. All right, so it is looking for these characters, right? And if I look at our Noto samples here, white rectangle. Let's just look at the plain Noto sans. Because the biggest worry I have is that we need to decode this. This is a little complex. Decode URI component. Okay. And yeah, you see, so this Unicode rectangle is probably invisible. Yeah, so this doesn't even have the arrows. Okay, if I get rid of these and just keep that weird Unicode rectangle. No? Unicode 116. No breaking space. God damn it. So the question is, you see, it's struggling to load these fonts. Is it struggling them because of the non-breaking space? Because that would be really bad. So if I remove the non-breaking space, and to be fair, I'm seeing two here. I'm seeing... okay, wait. One is a non-breaking space. And the other one is... So this turns it into a string with a length of 1. So that is a URI encoding of a singular character with code point 160. 160 sounds like it shouldn't be problematic. But it sounds also like this is just a non-breaking space, which they used as a filler. So that should probably go into the filter, for example. And that's something I'm gonna have to probably refine a little bit, despite it feeling a bit, what's the word? Petty. Because it looks like, in this case, it breaks loading these fonts, right? Unless that's literally just the arrows. That's the other option is... wait, we can test... Well, let's do this for a sec. If I go to Node to Emoji... Because that's the other problem, right? There could be very common Unicode characters that the emoji fonts don't contain, because they're mostly for the pictographs. And not everything is a pictograph, right? So, for example, yeah, like it doesn't even have those arrows. Now, this hurts me. Can I map? So, node to Google, find which font contains character. Like, is there an index? Extract available characters from font. I mean, ultimately, I'm guessing what I can do is I can, I'm downloading what? OTF files here? What was it? OTF files. And then I should be able to probably open them with a node library and then index what's in there, right? Font runs font image for Node in the browser using PDF-Kit, supports many font formats. So let's just frickin' try it then, even if I don't take it very far. Right? I think it's FontKit. Why am I uninstalling something? Not even uninstalling something. Message on Discord. You look at the result from... You will see all individual fonts with character ranges. Note to color emoji. Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, okay. All right. Maybe I can... Yes. Now this is... Yeah, okay. So instead of using... Okay, you're right. So instead of doing it locally, I basically can do it remotely. So touch, get, or create font index JS. If I do this, right? And we have fetch and yada, yada, yada. These sort of things here, right? And then we'll do something like, sorry, I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. So, because I don't actually, I don't know if Google will let me load from that API that easily. So I'll definitely want to set up caching right away because Google might just get, get a bit nasty about blocking me from doing this too often. Although their servers should get hit like millions of times every day for lots of websites that use their font API, right? So if we do something like fetch font CSS, and then we'll have family, and we can do even more than one, huh? So we have this here, this, and this. And the display is actually not even, I don't even care about that. Fetch font CSS. And then we'll just say, is the weight important? I'm wondering. I think it might be, because it could be that, you know, a font with a certain weight may or may not include certain characters. So the the Unicode ranges might be different. But my suspicion is that these Noto fonts are designed specifically such that they all match each other. So I can probably leave that piece of information out and just sort of rely on that. Thank you. This is actually super useful. So I can probably get rid of that. And rid of that. Right. And that'll still work. Yeah. So, fonts. get font API URL. And then it's really, okay, so it's really just this. And then it's fonts.map. Font. Family equals encode URI component font. Actually, this is, we want to URL encode that, right? Node URL encode. We probably just want to use a URL builder, right? So we probably want to do this. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do it properly. So let params equals new URL search param fonts for each font params dot is it add? Is it add? Append. Right. And then we'll do, oh my gosh. We'll go to URL, search params, object representative. Man, man, I'm rusty. I haven't done this in a while. So, let URL, it's new URL. URL dot, actually we can just start it off with our prefix here. And then use the URL search bar represented query. But this property is read only, but the user search parameter opted provide can be used to mutate the URL instance. All right. So log URL. All right, this is not where I thought today's stream is gonna get to. And maybe I shouldn't have let myself be distracted or sidetracked, but let's just pull through. Search params dot append that, and we'll just do this. All right, and then we'll just do fonts. We'll have emoji, noto emoji, and noto color emoji, if I recall correctly. Right? Fonts. Do that, and we'll do that. And then that should tell us if we are generating our URL correctly here. Oh, yeah, we don't need those. Yeah, all right, that looks correct. All right. Oop. I don't know if actually tohref is appropriate here. Is tohref or href the same as toString? ToString method URL is equivalent to that of href. Okay, fair enough. Fetch font. Fonts URL equals get font API URL. Fonts. Async And then await. Fetch. Fetch URL. And then we'll do two at the end of CSS2. Yeah. Yep. I guess it's some sort of internal versioning. All right. Because thanks, Mark. Because with this, I can potentially pull from a whole bunch of fonts. Now there is a lot of them, right? So, but you know, ultimately it'll be one request for all of them. So let CSS text. Okay. And then this is going to be fairly large, I imagine, because it's going to be for a whole bunch of fonts. I just lost my thing. All right. Is that... Oh, sorry. There's something behind me slipping down. Response. Here we go. Undefined, because we're not returning that. This is not what I wanted. Where's the rest of it? Noto emoji. Noto font. Our dog is a little unhappy today because we went out without him. Hey, Topsy, yeah. You don't get enough playtime today, hey? He's such a good boy. Deserves better. All right, this looks identical to what I have up here. This is identical. Damn it. So it does not return the same thing. I'm guessing what happens is it's doing a little bit of sleuthing on the browser. So it kind of says, oh, here it says you're a dumb browser, so I'm not going to give you all the information. Unless I change this and it didn't update. Okay. So I'm guessing I need to update some of what I'm sending along here. And I've done that recently somewhere else. So let's see. I was pulling from a site that didn't want me to pull data. Was it this site? Ciao guys. Was it this site? There. No. Which site was it? There was some site that I shouldn't have been pulling from. Maybe this site? I'm just trying to remember. No. Here? No. Trying to remember. Mark, you don't remember, do you? Recently, I was pulling from a site where I had to impersonate or I had to send just the right metadata. I might not have been doing it on stream, and it might have not been something... Ah, maybe it was for the API? Don't recall. I do not recall. Because I just had all the setup already for fetch to include header data and so on. And I don't know which headers they want, so it's easiest to just include them all, you know. I don't know if it's related to accept encoding. Is it... Because this is obviously including a lot more information. Is it the browser? Active client variations ID. What the heck? X client data. I'm guessing it has to be the browser, the user agent, huh? I don't think it can be encoding. I don't see any other information here that says, hey, we are accepting these kinds of fonts or whatever. All right. Well, this will go here, I believe. I'm guessing. Huh? Huh? Label HTTPS has already been declared. Oh. Ah, all right. That's it. That's all it wanted. Okay, that's actually really, really good. So now I need step 2 is I need a list of all the Noto fonts. But maybe that's just available here. Let's sort by name. I do this. This is the long list. I don't know if it's... Oh my god. So many. Can I just download them all? 1,455 open source font libraries and APIs. I think I'm happy to just limit myself to Noto for now. So pulling them all might be a little much. But let's see how many there are first of all. So notice, so for example, is this one of them? Like if I stick that up here and remove this one, and worst case scenario, just pull them one by one, right? If I do this, okay, so these are the font names, right? Met text title. So if I do something like document.query selector all for this class, I get 6. That doesn't seem right. The worry I have is they're doing a little bit of sleuthing, dynamically pulling things in and out. Met text title. How can there be only 6? So probably as you're scrolling, they get loaded in or removed. If I reduce the size. I'm just trying to see, can I get more than 6 on screen? There's 8 now, because I made the thingy smaller. View selected. By name about these are based on font and font design names, which mostly match your query. You're ranked using the font factors. Oh, I hate these auto things. So the data is in here somewhere. It's just not on the page, because on the page it only shows 6 of them at a time. So I can either put up like a script that just records them and just scroll down as it's loading them, which would be a bit annoying. I could try to find where the data is, but that just might not be accessible. Or, and this is the roughest one, but it has worked for me in the past, is to hijack the JSON parse function, monkey patch it, because most things pass through that. And you kind of get all the data. I've had to do that when I was scraping the Facebook backend, the admin backend for our, to extract statistics with a script. That was a little bit of work. Does it maybe? No. That's not what I wanted to look at. It's a pity I cannot access what's in here from the console. That would be so nice. Window dot zone symbol. Yeah, I mean, maybe they like, I don't think Google themselves would put something on the root. Font size slider download. Specimen header. Like, I'm just wondering if maybe the fonts are available here somewhere. Crypto. I don't like the sound of that. Let's just hope that's nothing shady. Body moving. Body moving? Seriously? Guys. I need the data. I need the data. Ideally, be nice if the data was available here somewhere. Just what's in this listing right now? Be nice to know. I mean, it's unlikely to be just an area on the root. That'd be probably too nice, but it could be a reference to an object that contains the data somewhere. Can I not download this list somewhere? List of all Noto fonts. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a Wikipedia page about it. Yeah. All right. All right. I guess. So there's not emoji. So let's see. What was it? Symbol 2 or something. Like some arbitrary obscure one. Hieroglyphics. Symbol 2. I'm not seeing symbol 2 here. Symbol. Noto Sans symbols. I'm pretty sure there was a symbols 2. Symbols 2. So this is not complete. But it's maybe good enough for now. So let's look at this one instead. Scope equals row. Scope. Is that something I can select against? Document.query selector all. th scope equals row 132. Okay. Go into an array, map it, and get the text content out. Close enough. Dot stringify. Boom. Okay. And can remove these. No to mono. Nope. Don't like that there's these guys in here. Okay. Groups and people. Operating system. Software and libraries. I don't think these are part of it. No to serif tie. I'm guessing that's the last one of these. Okay. So, const fonts equals JSON.parse these. And now, do we have what we're looking for? All right, it looks like this might be the list. Notomono, color emoji. So it has the emoji ones. Has all sorts of language-related ones. Does it have basic Noto Sans? Yes. Okay. Now the question is, will it let me pull this in a singular thing? In a singular call? And then we'll just do this here. Write file. Font. All Noto. All Noto fonts. CSS. We really don't want to output that. And I think this it'll default to UTF-8. That's it. I guess I keep thinking it'll be slower because it'll be a lot of data, but it's just one file. 100 kilobytes. All right. All right, look at that. That's something. Okay. Well, I'm glad we don't have to pull that again. And I'm glad they just gave it to us so quickly. Okay. So now instead of doing this, and this, and this, and this, we're gonna read this file. Like that. And I think it's again gonna be UTF-8 by default. All right, let's just see. Nope. The buffer by default. Okay. Okay, so now we gotta parse this thing. It's kind of a little monster, not a big monster. So, can I assume every font face has one? Oh god, all right. Let's slice 1,000 characters off, and then we're just gonna run this through a regular expression. So we're gonna take the first 1,000 characters, and then we're gonna match that against a regular expression. It's gonna get a little complicated because it's gonna be multi-line and all that stuff. And I don't think there are gonna be any curly brackets in here. And I don't think we need the URLs or anything like that. Although it might be actually nice to just... I'm just thinking, what if I take the whole block like this? I am multi-line. Like if I do this, what's it gonna do? Now, at font face. And curly. Oh. And like that. Like that. And if I do this. Like that. And then we'll do map. And we'll do font face dot match. And we're just gonna basically just split it up into so basically we're gonna have some white space. We're gonna have some non-colon stuff. Like that. Then we're gonna have a colon. Then we're gonna have some white space. And then we have some more non-colon stuff. And non-n whatever stuff. And I think that's it, right? Nope. Match, map, match, map. All right. So, font face, font family. Yeah, we didn't get rid of the first thing. If I do this without the global, dot match this without the global, and then take the first and then do that. And let's just do this. What do we get here? Okay, that pulls out the inner thing. Yeah, so we get the right groups. So now I want to split it by... This still needs to be IMG, multi-line global. And it splits it up by this thing. And then these guys we want to map. And we kind of match it against the same regular expression without the IMG. So, and we're just going to do RE const RE font face. And I'm actually going to put these in a string so I can then add the different these guys. That. I think the no. I don't know if I can I change, can I take an existing regular expression and modify it? So can I do something like new reg exp slash abc slash m comma, and then do something like this. Okay, so it'll strip what it was there before. Dot star. I don't know if it just turns this whole thing into a string, but it seems to kind of do what I wanted to do. So I can define this as a regular expression, multi-line this, right? And then I can just do img here. And then I can do this one here. And I don't think we need to check for it not matching because it's already matched over here. And then we'll do the same thing with RE prop, font prop. And it's just going to be this without the G. And it's going to be this, and it's going to be new reg exp. Nope. This. Right? Now if I do this, what do I end up with? Font family, no to color emoji. Comes back with font, no to color emoji. So we want to strip the final semicolon as well. So 1, 2, oh. Don't know about the input is this. Font family, no to color emoji. Font family. Backslash S and yada yada. Font family color emoji. Okay, that looks good. Font style normal. Because the semicolon doesn't get eaten. So if I put semicolon here, where do I end up then? Font style normal, font weight 400, URL. This should be SRC. Why do I not end up with SRC? Font weight 400. One sec. Font weight, SRC, URL. So font weight. Where's the SRC here? Shoot. Backslash n font form. We also want to eat any backslash n's at the end. So we want to do this and this. And here we don't actually want to change the order of where the white space gets attached to. Okay, font weight, font normal. This SRC is missing here. What's going on? It's missing from here already. Go to color emoji. There's definitely an SRC here. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but why is that there? Font family SRC. There's a double quote here and a single quote here, but that's just how it's representing that here. We'll do this. I mean, I could basically put this whole thing inside here to get a more accurate match. /n Unicode range. Where's the comma? So that's the comma. Right. Now if I match these through that, font family, the SRC just frickin' disappears. White space. A bunch of characters that aren't colons, such as SRC, colon. I mean, okay, these need to be a plus. These need to be a plus. A bunch of characters that are not a, no line breaks here. And a colon here. I still don't understand how the SRC disappears. Frick. There's no line break here. I don't know how it's different from this string. God, this is messing with me. Also, it seems to attach the spacing with a \n over here. I think we're going to require one of these. We're just going to require one of these. I still don't get it. Why is the SRC disappearing here? No colon. Does this contain... Oh, it contains a colon. I'm an idiot. Okay. I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a dot question mark, and then we're just gonna look for the line termination with the semicolon. Is this... What do you not like about this? Front prop. Invalid regular expression. What's invalid about this? Oh, the question mark goes after the plus. Is that where we're struggling? Okay, the SRC is back. Hey, Shelby. Boring regular expression stuff. I always end up somehow doing boring regular expression stuff. SRC URL format. Unicode range. Now, Unicode range is a bit of an odd one because I think it can have line breaks in it when they're really big. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, do they have other things in here? I thought some of them might have more than one Unicode range prop, like this guy. No, no, it doesn't. Okay. So Unicode range, and that's the Unicode range. Okay. And after this mapping, we'll we're going to do a slice 1, 2. Like that. 1, 3. I think so. I think that's everything. And then we can do something like dot map key val like that. Okay. And then my head. And then we'll take all of this and do an object dot assign like this and like this, right? That'll do it, I think. Sorta. Okay. And if I take more of these juicy characters like this, I'm just gonna do this for a sec. So, color emoji, color emoji, color emoji, color emoji. Why am I getting the same thing over and over and over? Because they are the same thing over and over and over. They're different URLs, they're different Unicode ranges, but so they're getting split up. I don't know why, but I don't think I care, right? Like I don't actually care, as long as I can match a font name that I can request from the API with a Unicode color range that lets me identify which character they're in. So if I make this really big, all I want is to see different fonts in this listing. Like we're at 8,000 characters in, we're still looking at color emoji. Okay, so now we're looking at other ones. All right. Don't know if I want to keep all of it. So we might want to simplify that. So we can now map, let me think. Map, we'll grab font family and Unicode range. And we're just gonna do this and do like, I think we can do this. I don't know. And then we're gonna dequotify this stuff. So if I take this and if I do a JSON parse on this, does it remove the quotes? Like if I do this, all right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't like single quotes, right? Place. Leading single quotes or trailing single quotes. With no single quotes. And then range. G. Okay. Okay. Seems to work. And we're going to, I'm just trying to think. What's the reverse of object.entries? There's something called from entries. There we go. From entries. Okay. So if I do object.from entries like this. Now I should get this. And then I can just write this into a file. Node to Unicode ranges.json. But there is a, because I don't want this as a single line JSON. There's the pretty printing, which isn't really that pretty. There is, I've made my own things to kind of write them out where every object is its own row, which is not actually what we want here. I'll just do this. Like that. Now, we should have yet another file here called Go to Unicode ranges. Okay. All right. Now if I do it for all of them, so without this silly slice here, now Node to Unicode ranges JSON should have all of these. Okay. All right. That's a start. And now from this, we need to go the other way around, right? So we need to find a match. So in JavaScript, what was this episode called? This episode was supposed to be about something else, wasn't it? It was supposed to, no, it is about the emojis, I think. What did I call it? Emoji something. Final emoji. All right, let's hope that. So match character to Unicode range. So the question now is, these hex strings, what exactly do they match against? Is non-Latin character, test S. Is non-Latin characters. So the question is, okay, I mean, this feels a little cheaty, but so if I take, let's say this string, right? And I change it, are they all in this format? More or less, right? And these are hex. They look like hex strings. Okay, so if I take this string and I replace this with a regular expression that takes the U, the plus, then 0 through 9, A through F, the hex characters, plus, right? Then this, then another sequence like this. And I think all like that. And I replace this with, what does it look like? This thing, right? Replace it with this, where these are our dollar whatever, $1, $2. So that would be step 1, if this works. And then if that works, can we turn it to a regular expression that functions? Replace this with this. No. Match. So that's our Unicode range. I want to see if we can match against that. And I'm guessing I can just find the singular one and the range one. Can I do this? No. Do I need to do this? Yes. Okay. So then I can do this. Okay. And then can I do new regexp this? And then can I okay. So that looks like I should be able to match against that. Let's grab like a big range like this instead as our little test. Just to make sure, you know, I have a character that I can actually reference. Right? And in fact, we can cross-test this by saying, we can say nodo sans plus, and then we'll do text equals ABC, right? And that should give us nodo sans without the symbols. ABC. I don't have text here. Full ranges. If I do have text, I guess it doesn't need the ranges. Okay, I was hoping it'll tell me what the range for ABC is, but I mean, I can just do this. And then what did we just see there? So we can do that dot test A. Test A. False. What is the Unicode thing for A? Unicode A. 0041. So you would think that would fall into this range. 0041. False. This is capital A. The capitalization matters. Maybe not. Maybe this is just wrong. Okay. I'm wondering if I need to multi, you know, can I do this? False. Testing. False. True. Basic Latin. Basic multilingual. Uppercase. Can I find lowercase? 0061. So lowercase doesn't test on these. True? False. So uppercase A is 0041 and it doesn't test on these? That seems a little strange. It seems like they should. 007F. Should this expression be lowercased? So if I say, let's just take this regular expression now. Dot test A, false, and B, false, A. Okay. And if I do, oh, is it because it's not? Now, how can they both be true here? False. False. Okay. I guess this negates the range, which is not what I wanted. False. True. That still seems odd. Maybe I'm wrong on these now? No. I think we were right on this. True, true. Okay. But if we go back to our funky characters, like this, like that, false. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So the next step is now to turn all of this into something like this. Okay. So we have two kinds here. We have the multi and the whatever, right? So onst ranges equals, I'm just going to take all of these and split them by, comma, white space. Like that. And see how many of these we have. Okay, so some of them are more than 4 digits. I'm gonna have to be a little careful here. I don't think I'm limiting them to 4 digits though. Yeah. Now if they are just a singular one, Unicode, so it'll be just Unicode, our Unicode. So we just don't have that second thing here. Okay, so we can do ranges dot for each. Like that. And we'll just do range. Range, yep. And then we can do range dot match our Unicode. So some of these will be, we want to match by this first, right? So so if it matches against our Unicode, then we do one thing, which is out of this. Else, we're going to do range match against our Unicode. And then here we basically do this again without this part. And we don't need that. And then else, throw new error, unknown Unicode range. Range. Like that. Can we do something like that? Can I not throw inside a tertiary expression? Ternary. I think we'll probably have to run a function here. So if I do this, then I can throw like that. Can I do this? Nope. Can I do this? Finally. All right. And we didn't get any throws. Okay. Now, why is the last one doing this? Oh, because that's that stuff down here. Okay. So now we can do a little thing here. Const Unicode range to reg exp. And then it's just this whole thing. Boom. Like that. All right, and then we'll just do range. Yeah. Okay. And then if we pipe them together, except, yeah, these are already turning them to regular expressions. So if we do this instead, and this, now we get strings back. And now we can pipe these together. So we can take that, do this, like that. I think. And then we map these, and then we'll join them with pipes, like that. And now we can turn this into a regular expression. So we can do Unicode range to expect, and then we can Unicode ranges, regular expressions. And I can just do this. Ranges, new regular expression, from a string, starts with that, has this on the inside, finishes with another brace. And I think that's it. And then does that. So, and I think that is the final step. And that lets us turn all of these into individual regular expressions that we can now test against. So we can do test A. Test A. True. Test Chinese character. Do we have a Chinese character? Or emoji? Let's find an emoji because that font probably has the Chinese characters actually. UFO. Test UFO. True, false. Okay. Okay. So that gets us all the ranges. So this lets us test against the ranges. So the final step is taking having a function that you insert a character and it outputs a font, and then another function that takes a long string of characters and outputs a list of fonts that supports all the characters. Now, it's not as simple as that because, of course, we might, some fonts might have more characters than others. So we, in theory, want the least number of fonts that supports all of the characters. But it might start getting a little complicated there. So let's have a quick look at our source here. No, not this one. Other one, yeah. So if I take this, I can turn each of these into regular expressions, right? So we can do read file, const Unicode ranges equals this, UTF-8, JSON.parse, like that. And I can take this, do this. And then ultimately we need to reverse this because this is now from fonts to Unicode ranges and we need the opposite. Or, yeah, let's do that first. Okay, and then we can do Unicode ranges, object.keys, Unicode ranges for each key. Unicode ranges key equals this run through this guy, I think. Ranges.map are not a function. Unicode ranges.map is not a function. Unicode ranges for each. So each of these should have a ranges string here. ranges. Ah, we need to split them. Ranges to split. What about that? And now we have a regular expression for each of these, right? And then we can say, okay, const find support, find fonts, char Unicode ranges, right? And then we'll loop through each of these. And we can do something like object.entries. In fact, yeah, let's do this once here. So we can do this object.entries, and then we can just do Unicode ranges dot for each. Now we have an array with 2 elements, so we have font range str. Now I wonder if I give it a third element and then assign to that third element, will that third element contain stuff? I don't think so. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do range.push this range 1. So we're just gonna add a third element to that range. Like that. Right? Like that. Okay. And then we don't need to do this anymore. Then we can do this. Font. Range, str. Range, re. And then we'll just do... Well, if I do this, and then just do re.test char, just return this filtered thing, right? Can I then do something like find fonts, Unicode ranges, and then we'll just try A. And it should give us most of the fonts. And then here probably we want to do map. Oop. Map. On. Like that. All right. And we don't want to output all of these. And we don't want to have these. I do want to have my test characters though. We probably want to have this as first argument. And then later on, we probably want to curry it. If you guys are into some comp sci terminology. Actually, currying is probably the wrong term here. Okay. So, find fonts A is that. And find fonts UFO is that second one. All right, so this is a problem because we know that this is present in autocolor emoji. Okay, so what's going wrong here? All right. Well, dot filter. Dot filter. I'm gonna filter it by the font first. Font equals Noto emoji. Oh, Unicode ranges filter, and I'm missing a second brace here. It's so annoying that I have to do that. Okay, so Noto emoji. These are the Unicode ranges. So either this regular expression is wrong, or there's just something wrong with my approach, right? Let test range equals this. Okay, so test range 0, 1, 2 dot test A. True. UFO. False. Now the question is this because something in the escape sequence? If I take this, right, and do code point at 0, and what was the other one? Code point and char at. No, code point and one point at. We figured out the one that we were supposed to use. Get font, get puzzle chars, char of puzzle char. Ah, wait, this is not in this one. It's in the scan puzzles thing. In where we're generating the HTML. Code point char code. Code point at char code at 0. And I think it should only be 1. No, okay. So now the question is, are these the right, is this the right syntax for the hex ranges? And how do I test multi-byte? Okay, my approach might be wrong here. Is non-Latin characters. This tests for the inverse. So it'll test across multiple characters, right? So if I test ABC, it should still work. Still come back true. But ABC UFO, not. ABC, true, true, true. Get 3 trues, and then pure UFO, we don't get a true. Ah, because this tests if any of them are, not if all of them are. Okay. Ah, okay. Ah, I gotta remember which way around we're checking. All right, let's try something else. So test range 1, that is just the string, right? So we want to split that like that. So that should just output all of these individually. And then for each range, we can convert this to a Unicode regular expression like that. Right, which isn't actually a regular expression at this point. And then we should be able to do this. This, right? And then we should be able to test it against this. Unless, wait a second, do I have to do, am I inverting the test call? No. No, I'm not. Quoting this should be enough. False, 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 false. False, 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 false. And if I put an A in here, true, true, true. But it can't be in all of these ranges, right? So that's a little strange. Am I misunderstanding something here? Like, I'm pretty sure A is not in this range, but it's still returning true. All right, let's read further. Unicode range expression generator. Generate any text. Okay, so if I put my UFO in here, this is the range it comes up with. So this is a bit tricky because this is a double character. So maybe my range syntax here isn't good enough. Now the thing is, I'm not starting with the characters. I'm starting with the ranges already in here. So that means some of these ranges are these higher order, more than 4 characters. But it's strange that this guy here turns it into a 2-character thing. Can it do the opposite? Oh, my head. So these ranges are multi-byte, right? Should I match character to Unicode range to CSS multi-byte Unicode range? How to include multiple Unicode ranges in a single set? Matches a character 16. Replace U30, U39, U7A. Doesn't this basically mean 30? Shortened notation with E6, U flag regex. JavaScript regex U Unicode 16-bit. Can I properties UTF-16 regression regex modifier doesn't mention UTF-16. No. Man, I'm deep in the rabbit hole again. Like, these are only talking about, well, these are talking about 16-bit. I need more than 16-bit. I need 32-bit, actually. UTF-32. Regex match emoji. Maybe I'll just, go low level or high level and see if somebody else has tried to do the same thing. Change the emoji to. I don't know how to change them, so I need to know any emoji to those characters. Exactly. Emoji presentation P. Regex. What I don't know is how to convert this notation with more than 4 digits. Do I just pull that 1 off the front? Is that what it means? And turn it into a second character? Or is it that whole thing that we did the other day with the, what did I have here? The circuit pairs and all that stuff? High circuit pair, low circuit pair. I think we're gonna have to take another look. CSS Unicode range. I need to take another look at the definition here. How that works with higher order stuff. So we have, hey guys. So you see here it goes definitely up to, that's 3 bytes, not exactly. Browser, font face, syntax, Unicode range, single code point range, wildcard range, single code point, include on range, wildcard range, description, purpose of description, allow the wouldn't. Okay, initial value, CSS Unicode range, UTF-32 range emoji. So I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Emoji to JavaScript regex syntax. There's like a tiny gap in the knowledge here, and I don't know how to express it to find that. It's like I need to take that notation and turn it. Any emoji, cards, or strange emoji can use the following ECMAScript 2018 plus kind of solution. Mind the U flag. So maybe I need to just curly brace that. So instead of Unicode, so instead of doing this, I'm gonna use the curly brace thing. So it's gonna be this. I mean, it's still with an extra. I have too many browsers open again. It's still with the extra \u, right? But then it's enclosed in curly braces. I don't know why. That's the only difference. I know that syntax for curly brace, but it means something completely different in regular expressions generally. In fact, range of yeah. So this, I'm guessing, doesn't work. Here it works. Which one is, where is it blowing up? Ranges. Do I need to escape these? Probably. Because I'm turning them into a regular expression later. Oh, come on. Single X. I mean, here they're just plain strings. Range, order, out of order, yada, yada, yada. Range, match. Range is equal. Yeah, forget all of this for now. Well, we just don't want, we want to do it ourselves here. All right. Just want to get rid of these. All right, test range 1 split. Invalid irregular expression. Range out of order in character class. I don't think I'm misunderstanding something here. Unicode. The errors can't work out where the range is out of order. Okay, show syntax. 4x. Okay, JavaScript regexp UTF-32. This outside the range of string code in UTF-32 is needed. The pattern is used to match, for instance, the first character in the prefix strings. Different format than UTF-8. But this need to express the full range of Unicode pairs. We said the Unicode code points start with an escape capital and needs exactly 8 hex digits. Ah. Now the problem is they're not all UTF-32. And I still don't know if they really are. I mean, they can't be UTF-16 if they have more than 4 bytes. So let's try to be kind here for a sec. This is gonna be messy. So we want to take a number. I've made it unnecessarily complicated for myself here. All right, let's get rid of that. Now, as far as I know, you can get a function in here. Right, and then this can be place like that. And it should just call the functions for each thing, right? Replace 1, 2, 0, 0, yada yada. Right. So we can have the string M0, M1. Or you know what? Let's just call them M0, M1, M2. And then we can just do something like const format Unicode. Car code. Then if code.length smaller equal to 4, then we're going to return small u with code.toString or 16. No, it's already that. So dot at start 0 4, and let's leave these in for a sec here, right? And otherwise we're gonna do capital U and 8. All right, and this is gonna be this like that. These we're gonna be taken care of. And it's just gonna have the dash in between. And this is gonna be format Unicode M1. Nope. Format Unicode M1, yes. And M2. That's for the range. Right? Range out of order in character class. This is 4 characters though. Okay, so maybe not the curly braces. I don't know. Somebody said I should use those. Code.pad start. Do I have to put this at the beginning? Like that, perhaps? Well, it doesn't seem it likes these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. \u. Range out of orders. Needed express full range. UTF code, capital U. And needs exactly 8 hex digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now, I'm wondering if these maybe are not valid UTF-8 characters. UTF-16. Although, it looks just like this, right? So maybe that support is elsewhere. JavaScript, regex, Unicode, UTF-32. U31, try it. New regex. The Unicode access property indicates whether or not the U flag is used with the regular expression. What is the U flag? I'm not aware of the U flag. That's new. Can I see the flag something? Otherwise, the U flag enables various Unicode related features with the U flag. Oh, so I gotta tell him. All right. Slowly, we're working our way towards that thing. With that thing being, holy crap, what's going on? So we want the U flag in all of these. Maybe then it'll work magically. No. Unicode escape point sequence. P Unicode property value will be interpreted as such instead of as a literal character. Surrogate pairs. So now maybe we need the curly braces again. Oop. And I think I might have to escape these as well. Invalid escape. Do I need to escape them? Don't know. There's like a double or triple escape thing going on here. Ooh, wrong one. Let's try this one. God, my eyes are hurting. Invalid Unicode escape. So I'm guessing no. But it's a different error. Invalid Unicode escape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Invalid escape. Would only match, but not UD. For example, /u would only match, but not UDA3D. Surrogate pairs will be as a whole character instead of 2 separate characters. But not UDA3D. Okay, when last surrogate pairs, last is advanced, which is a Unicode regex is advanced by Unicode code points instead of UTF-16 code points. Okay. Now here it doesn't say anything about the capital U stuff. So for now, let's just output the same thing twice. Okay. Okay. It's still not matching them. Oh, wait. We have... What if a pad start by 8? Huh. False. They're all false. For both the A and the UFO. Okay, what if instead of all this, we're just gonna return, for now, this without padding. False. What is the code point here? 2 string 16 n hex. Otherwise, man, it get very confusing very quickly. That's the D83D or 1F68. So 1F68 would fit in 1F64F, 1F6F8, 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 648 through 6, 1F64, 6F8, 164, 1F. So it's not in these ranges, actually. But I know it's available in this font. I'm still barking up the wrong tree. I'm not looking at the right thing. Problem is, I don't even know what the right thing to look at is. How to match Unicode character to CSS Unicode range. Come on, I can't be the only person to ever have wanted to do this. In fact, I know who's doing it. The browsers are doing it. Do I look at the source code of browsers? Unicode range descriptors. Pixel simply installed. Word font is. Okay, no, this is all user side. This is not developer side stuff. God. JavaScript regex Unicode range. Nope. It's all tiny little minor subparts you may use. But this doesn't work for UTF-32. UTF-32. Or ideally arbitrary. I don't want to have to write split code and detect which one and all that stuff. Okay, and how do I match that in a regular expression? TL. What is the L here? Unicode properties. Every character in Unicode has a lot of properties to describe what character the character belongs to. Information about it. Character has letter property. Any language. Yeah, you see, that doesn't freaking help me because I don't specify the Unicode data. Ah, man. Like, it seems like to me, this, from a naive point of view, this should be super simple, right? I've got the UTF-8 ranges, and I want to check if a character is in this range. Right? So, for example, these are the emoji characters, right? What does this mean? Because my character here has two values, right? No, that's not the ones. It has the char code at and the code point at. I mean, I could literally just look through them and see where it fits. Shall we do that? 5 hex digits, 30 bits. Yeah, I should be able to convert those. So, you know, screw all of this. Never mind any of this stuff here. Right? Range is this. So we're gonna take range. Yeah, so we can do this, right? So we can say if range matches. So range dot match our Unicode range. Dot match. Like, let's just look at it. Right, it should return an array. 8, come on. Right, so that gets us the 2 Unicode thingies. 1, 3. And then we can do map. Parse it as hex. Okay. And then we can let's test range char, right? I'm gonna slow down here and do it properly. Let b equals slice map, right? Log AB AB. Range A. And then range and UFO. Hey. Getting late. I'm getting tired. What time is it? Oh my, 9:30. Alright. Test range has already been declared. Test char. I'm working quickly and I'm doing it very slowly. And then we can do char dot code point at, like that. And then we can do, we've done all these. I can do char greater equals a and smaller equals b. False. No true. Not a single true. Now this is disconcerting because I know that this UFO is in here. So does that mean I'm looking at the wrong thing? Again, do we have 2 code points, for example, to look at? Maybe. Because there's a second one here. So if I look at the second code point, what I don't understand, like what I still don't understand is what the relationship between the two is. Why there are 2 sometimes. How do I know which one to look at? Why isn't it one value or a pair of values that I can compare against? Should I combine them into one number? I don't know. And is code point at the right thing? Is that the thing that I'm supposed to be looking at? Because of course I also have char code. I don't know if this makes any sense at all. Probably gonna No? Okay. Still no trues here. Why does this range result in undefined? Oh, because I'm not returning anything. All right, so it's always going to be undefined. All right, all right, all right. So this is this, basically. There are no trues here, right? None. What if I pass this in like that, and then I don't have to do this a million times out here, and I can kind of fine-tune this a little. Like that. Then we can do this. Right? And then we can just return the result here. That. So we don't have like 2 lines per thing here. And then we have else if. We'll do the same thing with the regular expression for the single element here. Nope, doesn't like that. Okay. Wait. Probably why. Okay. Turns it into this value. And then I can just do return a equals char. Like that. False, 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 false. So that's for the code point 1. Then we can do code point at 2 or 0 and 1. So all false. Okay. And then the other ones were char code at 0 and 1. And still a big fat wall of false. Do this. You know, in my brain I said toString, but apparently that's not what I was typing. All right, so the thing is, this character literally isn't in this range. But I know this font has it. So there's something else happening. There's something else happening. And it's not matching the other one either. Right? Char code at 0 and 1 are these two. And none of them... Now, what the worry I have is that I'm supposed to feed them into something else. Like that function I found yesterday, this one. Get circuit pair. Ugh. Unfortunately, I have no idea how they work and what they mean, really. So what is a freaking astral code point? Are you kidding me? Right, patience, patience. So this is expecting two things. So I have two things. So if this turns two things into one thing, maybe it's the thing I need, right? Like, you know, it doesn't look like it at all. Ew. This looks much more like it. We're on to something finally. Test char. This. Oh my god, maybe we're finally onto something. Nope, no trues. No trues. 0, 1. It's 1F68. Let me just get these back out here. This one, and char code at 0 and 1, right? So the get astral code point turns the two char code at values into the first of these. Let me put these into arrays so I can kind of group them. And this one is based on the get code point at. In fact, let's put these three into an array, and then these three into an array. So these two passing through the function get us this. These two passing through the function get us this. So combining these gets us this, and the second one is the same as that one. Okay, so if I test these four, the get astral code point does not add anything to the situation. All right. So far, so good. Let's wrap these in arrays as well. Just so I can see what's going with what. And I think it's easy to see that there's no true here anywhere. So this 1F6, F8 character is still outside of the Unicode ranges for this frickin' font. And I think the other one should have the same ranges, right? These kind of look identical. So there's a couple of things now. There's either I'm completely misunderstanding what's going on here. There is this file doesn't contain all the ranges that these support somehow. It doesn't include them by default, for example. Another option is that there is some sort of default range, which is presumed, which is omitted, right? The thing is, I have these Unicode ranges, and they have a 1, a preceding 1. So I need to find a way of turning a character into something that matches this. Now, I still don't know what the unit of this Unicode range is. That's the real problem. I don't know what this means. You know, it looks like these things, right? But not close enough, because that character, which is in the font, does not match anything in this Unicode range, right? So what is the unit of this range? A single Unicode character code point, for example, U28, right? So it sounds like it's a code point. Means include all characters in the range. Yeah, okay. Around random points containing wildcard characters that are using the question mark. Okay, so there's potential question mark characters here, except they're not in my case, right? So they're not actually using wildcards here, which is nice. But I don't know. They don't seem to match up. CSS Unicode range does not match code point at. So, you know, in theory, this is all exactly how it should be. In practice, not so much. Polling point value. Yeah, you'd have 16 high circuit returns the component of the circuit pair. If the element at position is a unit UTF-16 high low circuit, returns only the low circuit polling point. All right. Still not entirely certain what a circuit is. Well, what I need this. Because indexing to a pos was low circuit returns only the low circuit, it's better not to index directly into a UTF-16 string. Set use for off. Okay. Now in this case, I only have one character, right? Code point at 0 to 16. Instead of user to get the code for each element. Well, let's see. Let's see. Maybe I'm being a bit, you know, premature. So maybe I should do for let char off. So maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I need to loop through it to actually extract characters first. You know, along these lines. But I'm just back to these numbers. Okay, so this doesn't make a difference. All right. So that wasn't the problem. Code point dot code point at code point of code point at to string 16. 1, 2, 3. So this loops through 3 characters. Okay. So I don't think I'm wrong. I think this is supposed to be the code point, right? Now the question is, okay, let's maybe I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm using a weird character here or something, right? Let char equals right. I mean, I'm relying on so many things along the chain. Like, is this file being saved correctly? Does JavaScript understand correctly what I'm telling it? That's the horror of encodings. And at this point, I'm not even using this stuff. I'm literally just trying to do something very basic. So now it's this. Now one of these, this might be true, right? This is like a very basic emoji. That's definitely in the emoji font. But nope. Ah, no, there it is. Okay. I don't know. Is it possible that the UFO actually isn't in the emoji font? I don't think so. Pretty sure it is. One second. So if we go here, right? And we go emoji. Go to color emoji, right? We take the UFO and we go type tester. And I go here. Okay. Glyphs. Find. Boom. Is it under travel places? Vehicles, maybe? Now you see, it's not listed here. This is mildly concerning, right? I mean, at least the search isn't finding it. Oh, no, there it is. Travel in places. Here we go. There's a rocket too. So, no, I want the rocket. Can I get the rocket? Nope. There. Give me the rocket. Can't find the rocket. No. Maybe the default font doesn't include these? The font it gives me when you don't tell it a specific text? Yeah, I'm looking at no to call emoji here. And it's not just that, like I can look at all the fonts, right? That's what I did initially. So the test range is this. But I think Unicode ranges is all of them, right? Yeah, so we have all of these. And I think we were doing this initially. We changed so much stuff in the meantime. 43. Find fonts, RE test. Char. Ranges. Yeah, because I changed all this stuff here. Well, let's try it without that, right? So we can do the same thing here. We can just do this, Unicode ranges, boom. Turn here. For each. That'll be font. And here the STR should be just the Unicode range, right? So, do that. Boom. Call this ranges. Yeah, call it STR, right? So this gets split into these guys. And then these can get split into format Unicode, Unicode range to regexp. Is that what I'm using down here? Test char. Well, this. So we can do this. And we can do test char a whoop range. We can do this dot map range test char range like that. False. Yeah. Now, if I put in a smiley face, I should get a true. No to color emoji. False. Do I need to do a conversion? Test char. Ah, here we go. So with the character, A and B. We need to convert the character dot char code at 0. Okay. And now we want to see if it's in any of these ranges. And we might as well do this then. And this. And chart code, no, not chart code at, code point at. I think we've established that. Okay, so we finally got a true here. Okay, now UFO, no true. All right, but so we should be able to do a sum true. Okay, don't need to output that. No, what am I doing here? Font. No, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Okay, true on this font. And if I do 10, true, true, false, 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 false. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to return this and we're going to do a filter. Okay. All right. And now if we don't filter, don't slice out these. Okay. So that's this one character. Now if let's bring this up here. Right. Let's check for rockets. No rockets. Let's check for UFOs. No UFOs. Let's check for the letter A. All right, so letter A available in a bunch of them, right? Now let's look for what we were looking at earlier, Chinese symbol. Doing this one. Nada. See, like, that one should be available in some of them, right? Nope, doesn't find it. Weird fish symbol. Okay, so this is available as an Egyptian. So in this case, this would actually help, right? So I know, okay, this is in Noto Sans Egyptian hieroglyphs, one font. Now, why somebody would expect that to be available and how they set that puzzle, I don't understand, right? But I also don't understand why this character isn't found anywhere. even though it perfectly fine renders, right? So this Unicode range stuff, it seems to work half the time. Like, that's not useful. Now, there could be that what we did by calling the API without anything might not give us all the Unicode ranges correctly. But that would also be pretty crappy, right? Now, as I'm saying this, I'm remembering that there were sometimes more than one definition for the same font. And maybe by passing it through an object, I might have lost some of them. Basically, by turning this list into an object, I might have had some key collisions. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. I created an object from this when I parsed this file. And I basically threw away all those secondary keys. Oh my god, and I didn't clean up this code. Always clean up your code before you move on and mess it up even further. This is like I'm just gonna abandon this function here. Just don't even call it. Pretend it never existed. This is a disaster. Total disaster, I tell you. How did I create that file? Was it this bit? No, this was the font. We have the font. All right. I think it's mostly this stuff. Let's turn these into functions so we don't lose them again, right? Wants to fetch font CSS. File name. So, not gonna do that. But now that code is somewhere neat. And it's written to that one. Okay. So, let's parse font CSS. I think we're just gonna do this. Then we don't have to pass in a file name at all. So we're gonna start with CSS text here. We're gonna output the object. So it's this in principle. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna pass in this. JSON. And then in theory, we put the JSON in here. And I say in theory because now we're gonna do it differently. And these go up there. Right? That'll be our thing. Now, we're not actually going to write this out just yet. And let me think. Object dot is it Where did I do the merging? From entries. Yes, from entries, right. So const font ranges. So instead, we're gonna loop through these like good boys. Font family, font, Unicode range. And then here we're gonna do font ranges, font. I think we can just join them with a comma and a space, right? Equals. Equals. If it's undefined, then replace. Font. Key val. Key is the font here. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. All right, so font equals font.replace. And then font range is font equals, we're gonna find then range else range. We merge the bloody ranges together. Right? And that ultimately. Oh my god, I can't believe. Yeah, that's what happens when you're working tired. That was a rookie mistake. I just assumed like an idiot. So, to compare this, I'm gonna make a copy of that here. Then I'm gonna run this. If I can get it to run. Get that out of the way. Fetch fonts has already been declared. Fetch font CSS has already been declared. Fetch font CSS has already been declared. 57. 57. Fetch font CSS. Fetch font CSS. Fine. Probably doesn't need its own function. All right. So now this font index, if I go to the end, is 40 kilobytes. And the one that I had previously, if I go to the end, 22 kilobytes. Same number of lines though. So that's a thing. All right. That should make a difference. Create font index. All right. Now we can actually go back to this already. Just put that there. All right. And now if I run this now, it's not gonna work. Unexpected reserved word. Parse font. Parse. Async. Okay. UFO. Ah, there it is. Holy crap! It is even in symbols. Oh my god. Sorry guys, that was, I don't know how much time did I waste on that? An hour? And I didn't go back to check my fundamental presumptions like a rookie. So odds are that my initial regular expression version also worked just fine. So instead of doing that, I can probably just do whatever I used to do here. So probably this would just work without my new fangled syntax there. Right? So we should be able to just do this. Now if I output these, it's gonna be massive, right? But now find fonts should work. So find fonts for A returns a lot of results as expected. Find fonts for UFO returns 2. But the other one, did this algorithm not also return symbols? So is it in symbols or not? And why is there a difference? Find fonts is doing what? Unicode ranges. So it just does a straight up test against it. So there is some kind of difference still. Yeah. You ready? You wanna eat? Eat? Yeah. I can finish if we're supposed to eat. Sorry, I had no idea what time it is. You ready to eat and stuff? All right. You want to do that, and I'll finish off. It'll only take me like, yeah, you're right. You're smarter than me. All right. Oh man, I would have loved to have wrapped this up into a neat little algorithm in the end. I'm almost tempted to investigate this, but part of me also thinks the Unicode, the regex version should be good enough. So the idea now is, I'm just gonna spell it out, right? So the idea is, we go back to our list of characters. So any arbitrary puzzle will have any number of these in there, right? And instead of blindly including the emoji font, which doesn't have most of these, right? We should now be able to do something like this. And then run this there. And it should tell us which fonts have these, right? And then ideally, oh, and this probably included a space here, yeah. That's why so many fonts here. No? There's something weird going on. Oh, there's some other space character going on, yeah. So for example, this character is in these. Oh, that's bizarre. Oh, well, okay. This one, it can't output it on the console. I would expect the Japanese characters to be available in a language-specific font, not just... You have to be careful because the way the regex works, if there's 2 characters, it'll return anything that includes either. Hey, look at that. We've got a Sudoku board. Interesting that it's so different between the two fonts that I'm using here. So this one does find it in symbols. While find string finds this one in symbols as well. All right, last thing we do is we'll check this one out in symbols. Well, I thought I wasn't smart enough. I was missing something. I wasn't smart enough. I just made a basic mistake. Okay, so here it's not in symbols. All right, so this algorithm here doesn't exactly do the right thing. But maybe it's because I'm checking... wait a second. I'm checking what? Test char. Map. Join. Split. Code point at 0. Font string. Sum. Code point at 0. Code point at 0. Don't know why that would return symbols. But at this point, I kind of don't really care anymore. Oh, don't do that. I don't know what happened there. I think Sublime sometimes really struggles with Unicode stuff. As you saw there, the indenter just goes nuts. All right, I'm just going to put that here for reference. All of this I'm going to get rid of. I don't think there's anything valuable in there. I don't know. This feels like it might be too complex. I mean, it might be too complex to actually be practical because our little Unicode list here, our index, is 41 kilobytes. For 41 kilobytes, we can just... All of these fonts put together are like 7 or 13 kilobytes or something. If I create a font with all these, well, I say that, except that font doesn't actually. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this might be a service, and this might have to be a server-side service, or maybe I'd have to remove overlapping lists, right? So, for example, Noto Sans might include most of the other languages, and I might be able to remove them, right? So if I can say, hey, this range includes all of those from that range, then remove from the bottom upwards, although the list is alphabetical, so we probably want to do it in some other kind of order. Yeah. Because ultimately, I only care that I'm supporting the character. I don't actually care specifically which font, right? The problem is these are all massive lists. Well, actually, they're not that huge. Why is this 40 kilobytes? Why? It is 40 kilobytes. Weird. I mean, we obviously can get rid of the spaces. We could re-encode this into a more compact format. I don't think it's worth it though. So this doesn't quite make sense as a client-side service. So basically what I need to do is, instead of making a request to the Google Font API, I make a request to an internal API on my server that runs this algorithm, generates the request to the Google Font API, which then hopefully is literally just a list of fonts and the text, and then internally will sort the rest out. That's the last thing to test, and then that would work. Okay, I'm gonna call it, I called it Final Emoji. We might have to have a Final Emoji 2 or a Final Emoji this time for real. There is a couple other things that came in. Somebody, Astro Sky Ranger mentioned something about, let me just open it quickly, about the visibility of the thermos and the edges of the fog. So what I might do is, the fog currently, the alpha of the fog is gradiated as well. But in reality, we don't actually want to gradiate the alpha. We just want to gradiate the color. So I might overwrite that with a certain level of transparency or something, or just push it back a little further, make it a little bit thinner, make it be more transparent earlier on or something. I mean, it's just a visual effect, right? And then other than that, there's a couple of other issues to deal with still. But we're getting pretty close to being release ready. I mean, even the emoji stuff, it's already an improvement. And right now, I think it's actually quite stable. There are a couple of things that were a bit odd when I was just playing a few puzzles lately. I mean, the thing is, these are also not super common things, right? Like puzzles with emojis and so on. Just two things. I think the emoji stuff is already working, that if it's not required, it doesn't do anything. That's important. But the Fog of War is not doing that yet. So the Fog of War is doing full-on transparency masking, which probably kills performance on puzzles that don't have fog, right? So I need to make sure that the fog mechanics are completely disabled. There's one tricky part with that, is that I cannot wait to load the puzzle and then enable the fog, because you might get a flash of the puzzle and get it spoiled. So the fog has to be on by default as the puzzle loads. And then if there's no fog required, it needs to clean itself up and remove everything, right? All right, that's it for now. Thank you guys for hanging out. The usual places, patreon.com/SwenCodes, youtube.com/SwenCodes. I'm on Twitter under SwenCodes for as long as that's still relevant. And of course, hang out in the Discord, the CDC fan Discord. I'm also on Puzzle Plaza and the Skunkworks Discord. And I really need to set up a page or something where I link all those, because I don't even know how to link those. That's it for now. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. See ya. Good night.